Zarathus pressed her thin fingers against the cold metal wall of her small ship. The lights flickered red, and warning sounds filled the air. Her ship was dying, floating in empty space far from any known star system. She was a xenobiologist from the planet Velen. Her people were peaceful and gentle. They had tall, thin bodies with skin that looked like pale blue glass. Their bones were like crystal, beautiful but fragile. Zarathus had been on a research mission when her ship's engine exploded. Now she was trapped. The young scientist looked at her control panel. All the numbers were wrong. Her life support would last maybe 2 days. Her communication system was broken. She was alone in the vast darkness of space. Zarathus had heard stories about this part of the galaxy. Ships that came here sometimes never returned. The older scientists on her homeworld whispered about dangerous creatures that lived in the dark between stars. But she had thought those were just stories to scare young explorers. She tried to fix her engine, but her people were not good with machines. They were better with living things, with plants and animals and the science of life. Her delicate hands shook as she worked with the heavy tools. Then her ship's sensors started beeping. Something big was coming toward her. Very big. Zarathus looked at her screen and felt her blood turn cold. A massive ship was moving through space toward her. It was dark gray and covered with sharp angles. It looked like a weapon made into a ship. She had never seen anything like it. She checked her database to see what kind of ship this was. When the answer came up, she almost fainted. The markings matched only one species in all the known galaxy: humans. Every civilized being knew about humans. They came from a death world called Earth, a planet so dangerous that everything on it had to fight just to stay alive. The humans were the worst of all. They were predators with forward-facing eyes and sharp teeth. They hunted other creatures and ate meat. Humans had appeared in space only 50 years ago. In that short time, they had conquered 3 entire star systems. They showed no mercy to anyone. Other species either ran away or were destroyed. No one had ever beaten humans in a fight. Then, 30 years ago, humans had just disappeared. Some said they went back to their homeworld. Others believed they were hiding somewhere, planning something terrible. But now, they were back. Zarathus watched in horror as the human ship got closer. It was 10 times bigger than her little research vessel. She could see weapons on its hull. Lots of weapons. She tried to start her engine, but nothing happened. She was helpless. The human ship stopped next to hers. A blue light surrounded her vessel, and she felt herself being pulled toward the larger ship. She knew this was a tractor beam. There was no escape now. Zarathus activated her emergency recorder. If anyone ever found her ship, they would know what happened. "This is xenobiologist Zarathus of Velen," she spoke into the device. Her voice was shaking. "I have been captured by humans. If you are listening to this, please tell my family that I tried to be brave. Tell them I loved them, and warn everyone to stay away from this part of space. The humans are back, and they are as terrible as the stories say." She turned off the recorder and sat in her chair. Her whole body was shaking now. Everyone knew what humans did to prisoners. They would probably study her like she studied animals. They would cut her open while she was still alive to see how she worked. Or maybe they would just kill her quickly. She almost hoped they would. Her ship was pulled into the cargo bay of the human vessel. Through her small window, she could see the inside of their ship. It was huge and dark. Everything was made of metal and sharp edges. It looked like a place built for killing. The pulling stopped, and her ship settled on the floor of the cargo bay. She could hear footsteps outside. Heavy footsteps. Human footsteps. Zarathus closed her eyes and tried to remember good things. She thought about her home planet with its beautiful crystal forests. She thought about her family and friends. She thought about all the wonderful plants and animals she had studied. At least she had lived a good life, even if it was going to be short. The footsteps got closer. She could hear voices now. They were speaking in the human language, which sounded harsh and rough to her ears. She did not understand the words, but the tone sounded angry. Or maybe that was just how humans always sounded. Something hit the outside of her ship. They were probably trying to break in. She knew her ship's door would not stop them for long. Humans were strong, much stronger than her people. More sounds came from outside. Metal hitting metal. They had tools and were cutting through her ship's hull. Soon, they would be inside, with her. Zarathus sat up straight in her chair. If she was going to die, she would die with dignity. She would not beg or cry. She was a scientist from a proud people. She would face whatever came next with courage. The sound stopped. Then she heard something that made her heart beat faster. Her ship's door was opening. The humans were coming. Light poured into Zarathus's ship as the door opened. She squeezed her eyes shut and waited for the pain to begin. But nothing happened. She heard a voice speaking in her own language. The words were slow and careful, with a strange accent, but she could understand them. "Hello in there. We are here to help. Are you hurt?" Zarathus opened her eyes slowly. A figure stood in her doorway, but it was not what she expected. The human was tall, yes, and had the forward-facing eyes of a predator. But the human was not attacking. Instead, it held up both hands in a gesture she recognized as peaceful. "Please do not be afraid," the human said. "My name is Captain Chen. We saw your ship was damaged. We want to help you." Behind Captain Chen, she could see two other humans. One was holding some kind of medical equipment. The other had tools for fixing ships, but none of them were holding weapons. "You speak our language," Zarathus whispered. "Our computer learned it from your ship's signals," Captain Chen explained. "We have been studying many languages, so we can talk to other species peacefully." Peacefully? That word did not make sense coming from a human. The human with medical equipment stepped forward. This one was smaller than Captain Chen, with longer hair. "I am Dr. Martinez," she said gently. "I can see you are injured. May I help you?" R.A. Zarathus looked down at her left arm. It was twisted at a wrong angle and hurt badly. She had been so scared that she had forgotten about the pain. "I will not hurt you," Dr. Martinez promised. "I just want to make your arm feel better." This had to be a trick. Humans were famous for being cruel. They would pretend to help, then do terrible things when she trusted them. But her arm hurt so much, and she was trapped anyway. What choice did she have? "Okay," she said quietly. Dr. Martinez moved very slowly into the ship. Every movement was careful and gentle. "I am going to scan your arm first," she explained. "This will not hurt at all." She held up a small device and pointed it at Zarathus's arm. The device made soft beeping sounds. The doctor frowned at the small screen. "Your bones are different from ours," Dr. Martinez said. "They look like crystal. Very beautiful, but also very delicate. I need to be extra careful." She knew about Villani biology? How was that possible? The doctor worked slowly and explained everything she was doing. "I am going to put a special bandage on your arm. It will hold the bones in place while they heal. The medicine in it will also help with the pain." The bandage felt cool and soothing against Zarathus's skin. Almost immediately, the terrible pain began to fade. "Better?" Dr. Martinez asked with a smile. Zarathus nodded, too surprised to speak. The human had actually helped her. The pain was almost gone. Captain Chen stepped closer. "We need to move you to our medical bay. Your ship's life support is failing, but I promise you will be safe on our ship." "Why are you helping me?" Zarathus asked. Everyone knows. Humans are. Humans are. Monsters? Captain Chen finished sadly. Yes. We know what other species think of us. Some humans have done terrible things. But not all humans are the same. Just like not all Villani are the same. The third human spoke up. I am Tom, the ship's engineer. I can fix your ship if you want. But it will take some time. They wanted to fix her ship? That made no sense at all. If they were going to hurt her, why would they fix her ship so she could escape? Dr. Martinez held out her hand. Can you walk? We should get you to a proper medical room. Zarathes took the human's hand carefully. Dr. Martinez's skin was warm and soft, not rough and scary like she had imagined. The human helped her stand up slowly. The gravity on our ship might feel different, Captain Chen warned. Tell us if you feel sick or dizzy. They walked slowly out of her ship and into the human vessel. Zarathes looked around in amazement. The cargo bay was huge, but it was not the dark, scary place she had seen from her window. The walls were painted in soft colors, and plants grew in containers along the sides, real living plants. You have a garden? She asked in surprise. Tom smiled. Dr. Martinez loves to grow things. She says plants make the ship feel more like home. Tree. A human who loved plants? Zarathes had never heard of such a thing. Humans were supposed to destroy living things, not grow them. They entered a lift that carried them up through the ship. Zarathes expected to see weapons and soldiers, but instead she saw laboratories and libraries. The walls were covered with pictures of strange and beautiful alien worlds. Those are places we have visited, Captain Chen explained when he saw her looking. We are explorers. We study new worlds and the life that grows on them. The medical bay was clean and bright. Dr. Martinez helped Zarathes sit on a comfortable bed. The human ran more scans and checked her arm again. The healing is going well, the doctor said. But you need rest and good food. What do Villani eat? Plants mostly, Zarathes answered. Fruits and vegetables. Some grains. We can make that, Tom said cheerfully. Our food machines can create almost anything, if we have the recipe. They brought her a meal that tasted exactly like food from her home world. The humans sat nearby, but gave her space. They talked quietly among themselves, and their voices sounded calm and friendly. Zarathes ate slowly and watched them. These humans were nothing like the monsters from the stories. They were kind and gentle. They cared about her comfort. They respected her needs, but she was still afraid. This had to be some kind of trick. Soon they would show their true nature. Soon the kindness would end, and the real humans would appear. She would wait and watch. She would be ready for whatever came next. 3 days had passed since the humans found Zarathes. She was getting better, but she was still confused. The humans continued to be kind to her. No one had hurt her. No one had even raised their voice. They had given her a room that was perfect for her needs. The lights were soft because bright light hurt her sensitive eyes. The temperature was cool, just like her home planet. They had even changed the air mixture to match what Villani breathed. Dr. Martinez visited her every day to check her arm. The human woman always knocked before entering and asked permission to touch her. She explained every medicine and every treatment. She even brought Zarathes books about human medicine so she could understand what was happening to her body. Your people heal differently than humans, Dr. Martinez explained during one visit. Human bones are hard and strong, but yours are more flexible. They bend instead of breaking, usually, but when they do break, they heal in a special way. Zarathes was amazed by how much the doctor had learned about Villani biology in just 3 days. How do you know so much about my people? I studied everything I could find, Dr. Martinez said with a smile. I want to make sure I take care of you properly. But there is not much information available. Most species do not want to study humans, so we cannot study them either. Because you are scary, Zarathus said without thinking. Dr. Martinez looked sad. Yes, because some humans are scary. But we are not all the same. That afternoon, Tom the engineer came to visit. He was excited about something and carried a small device in his hands. I finished scanning your ship, he said happily. The damage is not as bad as it looked. I can fix it completely. But I found something interesting in your computer files. Zarathus sat up quickly. Her research data was private. What did you find? You are studying plant life on different worlds, Tom said. The notes are amazing. You found 17 new species just on your last trip. We have been to some of the same planets, but we missed most of these plants completely. You study plants too? Zarathus asked. We study everything? Tom replied. Captain Chen says knowledge is the most valuable thing in the universe. We collect information about every world we visit, every species we meet, every new thing we discover. He showed her pictures on his device. They were photographs of alien worlds, but not the kind of pictures she expected from humans. These were not pictures of conquered cities or destroyed armies. They were pictures of beautiful landscapes, strange animals, and unusual plants. This is Kepler 442b, Tom explained, pointing to a picture of a world covered in purple forests. We spent 6 months there studying the ecosystem. The trees grow in spirals, and their roots connect underground like a giant network. The whole forest thinks together like one huge brain. Zarathus stared at the pictures. You spent 6 months studying trees? Captain Chen spent 8 months studying trees on another world, Tom laughed. He says plants are harder to understand than most people think. They are very complex living things. More humans came to visit her over the next few days. Each one was different, but all of them were interested in learning. They asked her about Villani culture, about her research, about the plants she had discovered. They listened carefully to everything she said and asked thoughtful questions. On the 5th day, Captain Chen invited her to join them for dinner in the main eating area. Zarathus was nervous about being around all the humans at once, but she was also curious. The dining room was warm and comfortable. The walls showed pictures of space that changed slowly, like looking through a giant window. 6 humans sat around a table, eating and talking quietly. They all stood up when she entered, which surprised her. This is Zarathus, Captain Chen announced. She has been kind enough to share her knowledge with us. The humans smiled and introduced themselves. There was Sarah the doctor, Tom the engineer, Captain Chen the leader, Lisa who studied weather on different planets, David who studied rocks and minerals, and Maria who studied animal behavior. We are all scientists, Captain Chen explained, as they sat down to eat. We left Earth 20 years ago, to explore space and learn about other worlds. Why did you leave Earth? Zarathus asked. The room became quiet. The humans looked at each other, and she could see sadness in their faces. Earth has many different kinds of humans, Captain Chen said slowly. Some are peaceful like us, but others are aggressive. They like to fight and conquer. They give all humans a bad reputation. We tried to change things, Dr. Martinez added. We tried to show other species that not all humans are violent, but too much damage had been done. No one would trust us. So we left, Tom said. We decided to explore space quietly. We help when we can, we learn what we can, and we try not to bother anyone. But why help me? Zarathus asked. I am just one person, and my people will never trust humans anyway. Because it is the right thing to do, Captain Chen replied simply. We help because we can help. We learn because knowledge is good. We explore because the universe is beautiful and amazing. Lisa spoke up. Also, you are an incredible scientist. Your plant research is better than anything we have seen. We could learn so much from each other. Zarathes felt something strange happening in her chest. These humans respected her work. They valued her knowledge. They treated her like an equal, not like a prisoner or an experiment. "What will happen when my ship is fixed?" she asked. "You can go home," Captain Chen said. "We will take you anywhere you want to go. No questions asked." "And if I do not want to go home right away?" The humans looked at each other again, but this time they were smiling. "Then you are welcome to stay with us as long as you want," Captain Chen said. "We would be honored to have you as our colleague." Colleague. Not prisoner. Not experimental subject. Colleague. For the first time since the humans found her, Zarathes smiled back. 2 weeks later, Zarathes was working in the human ship's laboratory. She could not believe how much her life had changed. Her arm was completely healed, and her ship was fixed and ready to go. But she had chosen to stay. The humans had amazing equipment for studying life. Their microscopes could see individual atoms. Their computers could analyze DNA in minutes. Best of all, they shared everything with her. Every discovery, every piece of data, every new idea. "Look at this," she called to Dr. Martinez, who was working at the next table. "The plant samples from the purple moon show something incredible." Dr. Martinez came over and looked through the microscope. "The cell structure is completely different," she said in amazement. "How do they get energy?" "Not from sunlight like most plants," Zarathes explained excitedly. "They eat radiation. They can live in space without any soil or water. They are not really plants at all. They are something completely new. This could change everything we know about life in the universe," Dr. Martinez said. "You have to publish this research." "We have to publish it," Zarathes corrected. "This discovery happened because of your equipment and your help." Dr. Martinez smiled. "Working with you has been the best part of this whole trip. I have learned more about xenobiology in 2 weeks than I learned in 10 years of studying alone." Dr. Martinez. Everyone. They had become close friends. Dr. Martinez showed Zarathes pictures of her daughter back on Earth. A little girl, with her mother's kind eyes and her father's smile. Zarathes told stories about her large family on Velen, with dozens of cousins and relatives who all lived together in crystal tree houses. "I miss them," Zarathes admitted. "But I have never had friends like you before. On Velen, everyone thinks the same way. Here, you challenge my ideas and make me think in new directions." Captain Chen came into the laboratory carrying a datapad. He looked worried. "We have a problem," he announced. "Long-range sensors are detecting 3 ships heading this way. They are not responding to our messages, and they are armed." "Pirates?" Tom asked, looking up from his work. "Probably." Captain Chen nodded. "They have been raiding ships in this system for months. They take cargo and sell prisoners as slaves." Zarathes felt her blood turn cold. She had heard about space pirates. They were almost as bad as the stories about humans used to be. "What do we do?" she asked. "We run," Captain Chen said simply. "Our ship is fast. We can get away, if we leave now." "But what about the research station?" Dr. Martinez asked. "There are scientists there studying the radiation-eating organisms. If the pirates attack them..." "The station has no weapons and no defenses," Lisa added. "The scientists there will be helpless." Captain Chen was quiet for a moment. Zarathes could see him thinking hard about something. "We could warn them," he said finally. "Give them time to evacuate." "That might not be enough," Tom said. "The pirates move fast. And there are valuable research samples at that station. If we lose them, years of work will be destroyed." Zarathes watched the humans talk about the problem. She was amazed by what she saw. These were the same humans that other species called monsters. But they were worried about strangers they had never met. They wanted to help people who could not help themselves. "We have weapons," Captain Chen said slowly. "We could fight the pirates." 6 humans against 3 ships full of pirates? Dr. Martinez asked. That is very dangerous. Yes. Captain Chen agreed. But we are the only ones who can help. The research station has no defenses. The nearest military ship is days away. Any? I vote we fight, Tom said firmly. So do I, said Dr. Martinez. One by one, all the humans agreed. They would risk their lives to save strangers. What about me? Zarathus asked. I should go to the escape pods. No, Captain Chen said. You are one of us now. But this is not your fight. You do not have to stay. Zarathus thought about this. A month ago, she would have been terrified to see humans preparing for battle. Now she understood something important. Human strength was not just about fighting. It was about protecting others. I want to help, she said. You are not a soldier, Captain Chen pointed out. But I know this system better than anyone. Zarathus replied. I have been studying the planets here for months. I know places to hide, places with dangerous radiation that might damage pirate ships. Captain Chen smiled. Welcome to the team. The next few hours were unlike anything Zarathus had ever experienced. The humans transformed from gentle scientists into focused warriors. But even in battle mode, they were careful and precise. They did not want to hurt anyone more than necessary. The goal is to disable their ships, not destroy them, Captain Chen explained as they prepared. Pirates are criminals, but they are still living beings. We will only use deadly force if we have no choice. Zarathus helped them plan their attack. She showed them how to use the system's asteroid field to hide their approach. She found safe paths through areas with dangerous space radiation. When the pirates arrived at the research station, the humans were ready. They hit fast and hard, disabling the pirate ship's weapons before the criminals knew what was happening. The whole fight was over in minutes. Not a single scientist at the research station was hurt. The pirates were captured and turned over to Galactic authorities. The valuable research was saved. As they flew away from the battle, Zarathus realized something important. She had seen the famous human fighting skills, but she had also seen human mercy. They had won completely. But they had not killed anyone. They had used their strength to protect the weak. Thank you, she told Captain Chen. For letting me help. For showing me what humans really are. What are we? He asked with a smile. The best friends anyone could have, she replied. And for the first time in her life, Zarathus truly understood what the word friend meant. 6 weeks after the humans found her broken ship, Zarathus stood on the bridge of the Endeavor's Hope and stared at a sight that filled her with mixed emotions. Through the main window, she could see the beautiful blue and silver world of Velan, her home planet. We are receiving multiple signals, Tom reported from his station. Velani defense ships are asking us to identify ourselves. Captain Chen looked at Zarathus. This is your choice. We can take you home, or we can leave quietly. Whatever you want. Zarathus had been thinking about this moment for days. In her pocket, she carried a data crystal containing all the research she and the humans had completed together. It was enough to change how scientists throughout the galaxy understood life itself. But she also carried something more important. A new understanding of what friendship meant. Open a communication channel, she told Tom. I want to speak to my people. The main screen showed a Velani commander sitting in the control room of a defense ship. Commander Thelnas had been Zarathus's teacher years ago. His crystal-like features showed surprise and concern when he saw her. Zarathus. Thank the ancestors you are alive. We have been searching for you for weeks. Step away from those humans. We will destroy their ship and rescue you immediately. Stop, Zarathus said quickly. I am not a prisoner. These humans are my friends. They saved my life. Commander Thelnas looked confused. Impossible. Humans do not have friends. They have victims. You must be under some kind of mind control. I am thinking clearly. Zarathus replied firmly. Please listen to me. These humans are scientists, not warriors. They have been nothing but kind to me. Humans are never kind, the commander insisted. Every species in the galaxy knows this. They are dangerous predators. Some humans are dangerous. Zarathus agreed. But not all. Just like some Villani are foolish. But not all of us. You taught me that science means looking at evidence, not believing stories. She turned to Captain Chen. May I invite Commander Thelnas aboard our ship? Of course, Captain Chen replied. He is welcome here. An hour later, Commander Thelnas stood in the human's laboratory. His large eyes moved around the room, taking in the advanced equipment and the careful research notes. Dr. Martinez had prepared a full presentation of their discoveries. This research is extraordinary, the commander admitted reluctantly. The radiation-eating organisms could revolutionize our understanding of life. But humans could not have done this work. They do not have the patience for real science. They did not just help with this research, Zarathus said. They made it possible. Their equipment, their knowledge, their different way of thinking, all of it was necessary. She showed him recordings of the humans fighting the pirates. Watch how they fight. They disable enemy ships without killing anyone. They risk their lives to save strangers. This is not the behavior of mindless predators. Commander Thelnas watched the recordings several times. Slowly, his expression changed from suspicion to confusion to amazement. They could have destroyed the pirates completely, he said quietly. Humans are complicated, Zarathus explained. They have the ability to be very violent, yes. But they also have the ability to be very protective. These humans use their strength to help others. Captain Chen joined them in the laboratory. Commander, we know that most species fear us. We do not blame you for that. Some humans have done terrible things. But we hope that someday, people will judge us as individuals, not as a species. What do you want from us? Commander Thelnas asked suspiciously. Nothing, Captain Chen replied honestly. We just want to return Zarathus safely and continue our research. If your people ever want to work together on scientific projects, we would be honored. If not, we understand. The commander was quiet for a long time. Finally, he turned to Zarathus. What do you want to do? Do you want to come home? Zarathus had been dreading this question. She missed her family terribly. She missed the crystal forests of Velen and the gentle songs her people sang at night. But she also loved the excitement of discovery that came from working with the humans. I want to do something that has never been done before, she said slowly. I want to be the first Villani to speak to the Galactic Science Council about humans. I want to tell them the truth about these people. Commander Thelnas looked shocked. You want to defend humans? Your own people will think you are crazy. Maybe. Zarathus agreed. But science is about truth, not popularity. And the truth is that these humans are good people who deserve a chance. 3 months later, Zarathus stood at a podium in the Great Hall of the Galactic Science Council. Representatives from 200 different species looked down at her from curved rows of seats. She had never been so nervous in her life. Honored representatives, she began, her voice echoing through the huge room. I come before you today to present evidence that will challenge everything you think you know about humans. She told them about her rescue, about the humans' kindness, about their scientific discoveries, about their mercy toward the pirates. She showed them data and recordings and research results. Some representatives laughed at her, others accused her of being a human spy, but some listened carefully and asked thoughtful questions. When she finished her presentation, the hall was quiet for a long time. Finally, an elderly representative from the Alterian Republic stood up. These accusations against humanity are very serious, he said slowly. If what you say is true, then we have made a terrible mistake. I am not asking you to trust all humans, Zarathus replied. I am asking you to judge each human as an individual, just as you would want to be judged. I am not asking you to judge. The vote was close, but the council agreed to establish a new policy. Instead of automatically treating all humans as enemies, they would evaluate each human group separately. It was a small step, but it was a beginning. A year later, Zarathus published her research in the Journal of Galactic Xenobiology. The paper was co-authored with Dr. Sarah Martinez and had data from 7 different human scientists. It became the most read scientific paper in galactic history. She was now the director of the new Interspecies Research Center, built jointly by the Villani government and Captain Chen's exploration team. Scientists from dozens of different species came there to work together and share knowledge. On the day the center officially opened, Zarathus stood with Dr. Martinez on the observation deck. Through the windows, they could see researchers from many different worlds working side by side. Do you ever regret your choice? Dr. Martinez asked. Zarathus smiled as she watched a human scientist and a Villani researcher laughing together over some shared discovery. Never, she said. You gave me the greatest gift anyone can receive. What was that? You showed me that the universe is much more wonderful than I ever imagined, and that the best discoveries happen when different people work together. Dr. Martinez smiled. Thank you for giving us a chance. For seeing who we really are. Thank you for being exactly who you are, Zarathus replied. Outside the window, the stars shone down on the first place in the galaxy, where humans and aliens worked together as equals. It was a small beginning, but like all the best discoveries, it would grow into something amazing.